pictures or whatever the case may be. I've also put over the page, it could be finding comfort elsewhere. So the question becomes, when you're thinking about why we eat certain things, what does it do for you? So some people say it's the taste. Sometimes people say it makes them feel good. It relieves that stress short term. The guilt follows after, but short term, oh, it feels so good. The chocolate doesn't argue at me like I need it, and it's done with. So I've actually put other ways to feel better. If you get a feeling of goodness from alcohol or cigarettes or food, how else can you feel good about yourself? And you may have already done exercise. You might go, look, I know exercise is good for me, but it's 9 o'clock at night. I don't think I'll be running the streets at this time. So how else can you feel good about yourself? It might be listening to some music. Who finds when you put on a good tune, it changes your mood? Yeah? Maybe not angry music, maybe no AC/DC, that might get you a bit more, lighter. Maybe before boxing class you might put Akadaka on. Take a warm bath. Sometimes people just need to chill out, have a warm bath, tell the kids to go away for 20 minutes and just go and meditate. Play with your pet. Pet therapy. It's interesting, there's a lot of research on the fact that people who have pets have lower blood pressure. Probably related to stress, to relieve stress. Just ask your loved one, if you're going to go and buy a pet now, I'll just double check, I don't want to be held accountable. It could be read a book, or it could be flicking through just a crappy, cheap magazine and think, well, my life's great, compared to them. This is getting a little bit more female-based, so Pete and John, I don't know about painting your nails.
It's a distraction.
It's a distraction.
You go try it.
I don't know what the aftermath would be like. Petty saw you with your nails painted, but anyway, you never know. Whatever works for you, right? I put TV. Plan a holiday. I've done all that anyway. So that's for comfort. Also reconsider your choice. So you guys were saying that before. So if you find that if all else fails and you still want to put something in your mouth, it might be the chewing gum. It might be some vegetable soup in the winter, something comforting. It might be just some celery or carrot sticks. I call those free foods, just gnawing on them. It also could be something like water, as you said before. Could be a cup of tea. A cup of tea kind of calms you down. Ever have a family member who just says every time you stress, just have a cup of tea. That's what my mother says all the time, and I think it works. I don't like to say she's always right, but it does work. A low-fat hot chocolate. So my recipe for healthy hot chocolate is actually, you might get a little bit of hot water. You put a spoon of pure cocoa in, so that the Dutch cocoa or the Cadbury's Bournville cocoa, mix it up with a bit of hot water. Then you might put the rest of milk or soy milk or oat milk or whatever milk you're using, some sort of creamy taste. Pour it to make a cup, and you might put a splodge of yellow box honey, that's low GI, and a splodge of vanilla essence, and warm it up in the microwave, and it smells and tastes like real chocolate. So if you've got a bit of a sweet craving, it's minimal calories, but that much, that much milk, it's really not a lot of calories, and that could be something just to calm you down too, and something that actually tastes quite nice. So there are a couple of things. I'm going to go back over changing your mindset, but what are your questions? They're just some ideas thrown around. What are your thoughts? What are the things that you think that you might try? And maybe you could even write them down as a strategy, because once you leave the presentation, sometimes we all have the best of intentions, but it's a matter of actually forward planning. For the next week, is there anything that we've just talked about that you think maybe I could actually practice? Oh, stop.
I can practice that.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's really helped a lot of my clients, and including myself as well. Yeah. And you get into the habit of it. As soon as you're getting you just go right, and you just start practicing in your head.
Also, I think if you're aware that the bottom line is that you're wanting to eat to make yourself feel better or feel good, so that if you know that's the motivation behind it.
Yep.
That I'm wanting to feel better, and then think of other options like the ones you've suggested.
Absolutely.
If you're aware of it, okay, I'm wanting to feel better.
Yeah. Yep.
Is there something else I can do?
You've hit the nail on the head. The first way of getting around this is first of all to be aware.
Yep.
So for some people, when they come and see me, they go, I don't know what I do. I just eat crazily. So the first thing is, for the next couple of weeks, be a detective and to be aware of what goes on. Catch yourself at that point in time and notice how you're feeling, What are you saying to yourself? Yeah. And now that you're aware, then you look at behavioural alternatives. What's the problem though if you only have one strategy? You might go, you know what, I know when I get a bit worried in my thinking and get a bit stressed, and you go, the thing I'll do is just go for that hot chocolate, or I'll go for that walk, and you have one option. What's the problem with only having one option in your head? Yeah, what happens if it doesn't work? You know, you might go, well, that didn't work.
Go back to the bad one.
Exactly. So, contingency planning, we all need backup plans. If the first thing doesn't work, you haven't failed, try something different. Or sometimes you haven't given it enough of a go. So maybe you've gone, oh, that didn't work, I'll give up. Remember I said in one of the other sessions, for most people, and this is research-based, that it took, in this study, 66 days on average to change a habit. So if you've had a habit of resorting to food every time you're stressed, cut yourself a bit of slack and maybe give yourself a bit of time and try and experiment for the next few weeks. I'll keep trying that strategy and see how I go, but if it doesn't work, maybe then change tack. So just give yourself a bit of time. We're looking at ingrained habits that possibly we've had for many, many years. It's just going to take a bit of thinking and a bit of planning. Anything else that people are going to take away?
But can I just ask, that last point says drinking water before you eat can reduce the urge to eat. I've read a bit of stuff that drinking water before you eat dilutes everything, so you don't actually digest it properly.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say so definitely you're right. It would be caution with that. So if it's just a little bit of a throwdown of water about that much, it will be okay. The same when you eat food, you don't want to drink a lot of water. For some people it's just getting some food out of their mouth, so you might have a few sips. But yeah, definitely you just want to be careful with how much you drink before, so it might be about that much. Some people it might be an hour before where they'll actually drink a lot of water, but if it's directly before eating, you could have just about a cup like that and that would be fine. Yeah. But you have to be careful because it will impact on the digestion.
So how long after the
That's the same for after too, is it?
Yeah, look, no, I'd say just give your time, because the thing is you don't want to expand your tummy too much, so you don't want to be too full. So if you're just doing that just to feel full and feel sick, so you don't put more food in your mouth, maybe you need to change the strategy, because that's really going to affect the digestion.
Generally you sort of eat and then you think, gee, I've just eaten, I'm thirsty, I'll have a drink, but sometimes, like so that could be a whole glass pretty much straight after you've eaten.
Yeah, look, about that much would be
I
fine.
I feel full and I can
Yeah, I think there's an Indian philosophy and they say you've got to be 2/3 full, 1/3 empty. And actually sit with that feeling of not completely full. Yeah, so sometimes just look back at, is that working for me? If not, well maybe you need to just give yourself time, and maybe rather than doing this as a behavioural strategy, it might be actually going and doing something else and not to put anything else in your mouth and not impact on the digestion. So rather than just overloading. So it just depends on the person. Yeah. Any other first sort of tips that people find that they might try? Or maybe it's actually created awareness of, you know what, I used to do that and I've forgotten about that. Anything else? Yeah, John.
Yeah, well, I'm still finding that approaching meals and things like that, it's still work. You've still got to make a physical decision that, oh, I'm not hungry, so I'm not going to eat. Or, no, I'm eating the wrong stuff, so I'm not going to have a go at that. It's not a habit. It's not, you know, you still actually have to go through a mental process and go, no, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I find that when I'm out of routine, you know, once I'm locked into something and, you know, every week's the same, it's easy. But once the routine goes,
everything else goes.
again, it's hard yards, making those same decisions day in, day out.
Yeah, yeah. Look, you're right. The two biggest barriers that can trip us all up is thinking and planning. So a lot of people will say, when I'm out of routine, everything else just becomes a race. I know when I'm out of routine, everything just becomes, it takes me longer to do things and it becomes stressful. So yeah, for some people it may be not changing how they feel, they're aware of what they need to do. Some people it's allowing time, so better time management. And let's face it, now and then we might be going really well with work or with our health, and maybe every couple of months a spring clean might mean that to sit down and go, what's my time management plan? I need to set time aside to pack the lunch the night before, or or to go grocery shopping on a Sunday. So yeah, a planning strategy is really important, but certainly rewiring the way we think as well. Yeah.